Morning, Judge.
Hi, Dexter. All right, could I have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please?
Jace Thompson for the Officer Public Defender.
Scott Lucas for the state.
Thank you.
Gilbert Roy for the state.
Thank you. All right, and I'm Judge Carter. We will go ahead and get started. Are you all ready in courtroom 2?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And it looks like the first case is Joshua Gordon.
Let's go. Come on.
Good morning. Are you Mr. Gordon?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you are here in case number 20 CF 3986. You were arrested for burglary to an unoccupied structure, criminal mischief, and trespass on property after warning. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Sir, you're not to return to the scene. You have been trespassed from there. You're not to have any contact with the victim. Your bond on count 1 is going to be $1,000. Bond on count 2, $100. Bond on count 3, $100. I'm not going to take any action at this time on your out on bond case, sir. Thank you. Mr. Gordon, are you getting the public defender information sheet, sir?
I don't need a public defender, ma'am. I'm not guilty because that 5602 is my property.
I understand. Mr. Gordon, I remember you from last time. I know. But if you're not guilty, you're going to need them to help you prove that. So take that information sheet, please. Thank you. Sir, good morning.
Good morning.
Your name?
Billy Wright.
Mr. Wright, you were here in 20 CF 3996. You were arrested for petty theft with 2 prior convictions. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance at this time. You need to contact your lawyer within 24 hours of your release, and you are not to return to, I think it's Home Depot.
Okay.
Sir, did the state want to make an announcement on the out on bond, the 20 mm 2176? It's a possession less than 20 on a notice to appear.
Judge, I honestly don't know what we're supposed to do.
Okay, so normally, sure. So normally Ms. Bush enters a no bill on the possession of cannabis less than 20 grams.
Okay, so we're just agreeing with that. I'm sorry.
Well, it's your
We're no billing it, is what you're saying?
yes, but if you're not comfortable, certainly you can do what you'd like to do. I'm just letting you know what Ms. Bush normally does.
I will do what Ms. Bush normally does. She's the leader and knows what she's doing here.
Okay.
So I'll rely on
And I think that
her sage advice.
I think that the forms are in that black stackable. I
Okay.
think there's no bills in there.
Appreciate it.
Do you see them?
I see a no information notice.
Yes, that's
Okay,
correct.
same thing.
Yes, and you're going to file that in open court?
Thank you.
Okay. So, Mr. Wright, your case that you received a notice to appear on the cannabis less than 20 grams, the state's going to dismiss that case at this time, or they're not going to file on it.
Oh,
Okay?
thank you, ma'am.
So you don't need to go back to that court date, sir.
All right, thank you. So,
Okay.
so that court date has been April 9th. I don't have to show up.
That's right.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
But sir, make sure you contact your lawyer on the petty theft case within 24 hours of your release from the jail.
All right, I got you.
All right, sir, thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, can I have a moment, please?
Sure.
Scott Hamilton for the record. I just had a slight concern here. I don't hear very loud.
Yes, sir.
And I noticed that you were doing the appearances by video.
Yes, sir.
And I was concerned that you might actually call my case, which is Klem Kowski, and I might not hear you when you call it, and I could totally miss the whole thing.
Got it.
So that was my concern.
Okay.
My client's Klem Kowski. So I'm going to sit back now and sort of let you know that. I asked them to bring him out, but I don't know if they're going to.
Okay, I think
Thank you.
they're indicating he is the first case after the move-up docket.
I'm sorry?
He's the first case after the move-up.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, no problem. All right. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Michael Peter Foley, Jr.
Mr. Foley, this is 20 MM 289. You were arrested for trespass after warning
That's
in a
right.
conveyance. Sir, there's a probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Was there an offer for Mr. Foley? Are y'all making offers?
If Your Honor wants to make an offer, I don't really have a problem with that, Your Honor. I haven't made an offer at this time.
All right. Mr. Foley, did you want to resolve your case today?
Yeah,
Okay. It's also my understanding that we're no longer using the plea forms on the misdemeanor plea cases. Mr. Thompson, did your office convey that to you?
It was going around, but I was like confirmed.
Okay. So that's the information that I received yesterday, late yesterday afternoon, that we're not going to require those. Your office is not requiring them.
All right.
Mr. Foley, I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty. You're not on probation, sir, are you?
no,
Okay. Sir, you cannot go back to the public, so you understand?
yeah,
You'll have to abide by the trespass warning. You're going to also have to pay court costs, which are going to be due by March 27th of 2021, sir.
March 27th?
Of next year.
Oh, all right,
Got it?
yeah.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Yes. Sorry, thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Good morning, Ivan Montes.
Mr. Montes, you were arrested in 20 MM 2326 for trespass on property after warning. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Did you want to resolve your case, Mr.
Yeah,
Montes? Okay. Are you on probation?
Not at all.
And you understand if you enter this plea today, you give up your right to make the state of Florida prove that you committed the crime, that you're admitting your guilt.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in jail. You have credit for 2 days time served.
Crazy. Thank you.
Are you okay?
Yeah, it just hit me.
What hit you?
Just what you gave me. Thank you.
Okay. Sir, you're not to return to the Circle K, and you must abide by the trespass warning.
Yes, ma'am.
You'll need to also pay court costs, which will be due by March 27th of 2021. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes.
on this next person, can I see him?
Who? Are you asking to approach?
Yes, please.
Okay.
It says for felony, Sonny. I want to
Who are you talking about?
Morgan? It's a move up.
Okay. Well, that's, sir, tell me your name, please.
Robert Tanner.
Okay, this is not the right.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what, all right.
Mr. Tanner, yes, you are going to be released, sir. I spoke with Judge Foxman
Yes, ma'am.
in your matter on your, it looks like it's a child support issue. He's going to issue an order to show cause and set a hearing. You need to check with the Volusia clerk in a few days to learn the hearing date and time. Also, look in your mail for the next 7 to 10 days to receive your order to show cause. Your address that the clerk has is 869 Kensington. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Child support, I thought I was for public intoxication.
Oh, it's done. Okay. I misspoke, sir. You're correct.
So I'm.
It's a rule to show cause. I'm not sure what
Released.
you are.
Thank you, ma'am.
Understand what you're supposed to do.
Yes, ma'am. I talked to my wife talked to the probation officer. This is what we asked for recommendations for this. We've been
All right.
we've been keeping in touch with her.
All right, make sure you show up to that court date, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Morgan Barnes.
Mr. Barnes, sir. Mr. Thompson, are you coming up here to look into see
Yes.
what's the reason?
I just wanna make sure that, this is his history because, I was under the impression that he had no, yeah, that's, I didn't know that he was, that he had 4 felony convictions on his record. Is this right? Is
Well-
correct?
Mr. Thompson, I wouldn't have a way to verify that.
Wow.
Good morning, Mr. Barnes.
Good morning.
You are here on a violation of probation in 19 CT 824. It is alleged that you violated your probation by committing new law offenses.
Your Honor, can we waive the reading of the new law violations, please?
Yes. Mr. Barnes, if you want to resolve the case today, it's 365 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 197 days time served. Revoke and terminate probation. Otherwise, it'll be a no bond, and I'll give you a court date in Division 61.
How many days and what case is this for?
Oh, it looks like you're also on state probation. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think it's probably a good idea for you to resolve this case today. We'll enter a denial and give you a court date in Division 61.
Well, hold on. Let me think about this. 364 days?
65.
365 days? Does that mean I'd be going to prison, or does that mean, like, I'd do county time?
It's a county offer, but it would violate your other probation, your state probation. That's what I'm saying. I don't think you need to talk to a lawyer before you make that decision, I think.
Okay. All right.
Okay?
Mhm.
So, this is Division 61, which is Judge Johnson. Your VOP status date is going to be at 11 a.m. on May 22nd.
Okay. I have a question for you. Is there any
Sure.
Is there any way I can get, like, a bond for this probation?
So that's something you're going to have to ask your lawyer about.
Okay, so I couldn't
I'm
bond out on a violation of probation?
That's up to the judge who sentenced you on the probation case.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Thank you. All right. Mr. Harrison, your client's next.
Yes, I'm ready. Good morning again, Your Honor. Once again, Scott Harrison for the record for Stephen Kowski. Mr. Kowski, I cannot see you, but the judge can. I'm moving the court to set a bond for Mr. Kowski. He's currently on no bond status. I have before me a charge affidavit or a declaration of prosecution affidavit from Marie Eugenia Bonnet, the alleged victim in this case. I'm assuming it's the alleged victim because my charging affidavit, my arrest warrant affidavit, only refers to the alleged victim as the victim. If I may, clerk?
Yes, please. Did you show that to the state?
Hold it by the corner.
You have a copy?
Yes, I have provided the state a copy. That's for the clerk's file, if I may file that.
Sure.
I have more copies.
We'll file that. State, did you wish to be heard?
Your Honor, I have not had contact myself with the victim. I don't know if she's going to be here at noon. She may have been told to be here for the DD case at noon. I don't know if Your Honor would like to hold off until she's actually here.
If I may, Judge, they've also got the son of the couple down downstairs, they would not let him come up, but he was prepared to testify that there was no physical violence between the two. And also, if you read the application affidavit for the arrest warrant, there was an allegation that there's a video supposedly, and a drama, of course, and the video indicated that there was some type of interaction between the two through an automobile window, but there's no allegations that my client ever harmed, or struck, or did any physical harm to the alleged victim. There is some evidence based on the video that my client did in fact procure what may or may not have been a baseball bat from his vehicle, but apparently the alleged victim was already driving away, in the process of driving away when that happened. So based on those facts, we'll argue Mr. Klem Kowski is eligible for a very reasonable bond.
What bond are you requesting, Mr. Harrison?
I'm sorry?
Is there a specific amount you're requesting?
May I?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Is there a specific amount that you're requesting?
$2,000 total.
Judge, if I may, I'd just like to refute a couple of those facts
Sure.
that are found in the affidavit. A couple of those facts that were stated that the victim wasn't harmed at all, but a large amount of saliva was spit into her face. She was also kept from taking the 911 call, preventing that call by him physically taking the phone from her hands. This is after spitting a large amount of saliva in her face. So I'd say that's some harm, but it's not non-physical, at least, Your Honor.
Right, but what I think Mr. Harrison was saying was that the video did not substantiate
Right.
what the facts say in the affidavit, I think is all Mr. Harrison was trying to say.
That was just like, yeah, Judge, I'll just bring it up because I know the victim's not here. That's why I don't
Sure.
know if you bring that up, Your Honor.
I suspect she's not coming based upon the declination.
If I may, Judge, I wasn't referring to the allegations, I was referring to what we could see in the video.
Correct, I understood
I
that.
wasn't saying that didn't happen.
I understand. So at this time, I'm going to set bond on count 1 at $10,000. Bond on count 2 is going to be $150. Bond on count 3 will be $150. Bond on count 4, $150. Bond on count 5, $100. Bond on count 6, $100. Mr. Klem Kowski, did you want to write those down?
No, Your Honor. Well, if I could, yes, because they're going to be different now since they've changed.
Correct. Is there a pen there for Mr. Klem Kowski?
Thank you.
Thank you, Dexter.
Okay, Your Honor, I have a pen.
All right, so it's 10,000 on count 1,
Okay.
150 on counts 2, 3, and 4,
Okay, 3 and 4. Okay.
and then 100 on 5 and 6.
Okay. So I got 150, 150, 150, 100, 100. And
Correct.
charge 1 stays the same.
Correct.
Okay, Your
Sir,
Honor.
you are not to have any contact with the alleged victim. You are not to possess any weapons or any firearms. I need to give Mr. Klem Kowski a no contact order, please. Is there one over there?
Just a minute, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Klem Kowski, why don't you take a moment to review that order, sir, before you sign it? Jackie, what's the Brevard County hold for the GPS? Mr. Klem Kowski, did you have an opportunity to read that no contact order?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about anything contained in the order?
No, not at all, Your Honor.
Okay. In 1 second, you have a hold out of Brevard County for GPS. I'm trying to figure out what that is.
Is my attorney still available?
Mr. Harrison is here.
Okay. Yeah, I turned myself in yesterday morning and I told them that I had a GPS on me and they took it off. So I don't know what I do next.
So it looks like, Mr. Harrison, do you have any information about that?
About Mr. Brevard County case.
About the GPS? Because he has a hold.
There's, Mr. Kowski's on GPS monitoring out of Brevard County.
Okay, for what case?
Brevard County, whether or not they want to put a hold on him, he might end up having to go over there.
But I need to know, do you know the offense date for that case?
I'm sorry?
Do you know the offense date for the Brevard County case?
The what?
Offense date when the alleged crime happened?
He's currently on bond in Brevard County, not home confinement, but GPS monitoring is a bond condition.
Okay.
For a misdemeanor out of Brevard County.
I know, but what I'm trying to figure out is if the offense date happened, if this happened before,
Brevard County will revoke his pre-trial release, but that hasn't happened yet.
what I'm trying to explain is.
Your Honor, I might be able, the GPS has been on me since last year of October.
Okay.
Mr. Kowski, I can't hear you because you're not here in the courtroom, so I invite you not to talk. Let me explain what's going on with the judge.
No, I appreciate the fact. So here's what I'm going to explain to everyone. Here's what's tricky about the situation is that the jails are not transporting the inmates between the jails at this time due to the virus. So we'll have to reach out to the judge on the case in Brevard County to see what they want to do about the hold. So you're not going to be able to bond out at this time.
I don't think he has a hold at this time.
He does. That's why I'm asking about it.
That's the problem.
Right.
We could ask the court to lift that hold because he's not being transferred. Otherwise, he could stay here forever.
So the Supreme Court issued an administrative order, and before we're allowed to do that, we have to contact the home jurisdiction because I don't have jurisdiction over a Brevard County case.
We have a number for the, I guess the GPS unit that placed the hold. So once he run out, we could call them and see where they kind of want to put the monitor back on.
Okay.
Because sometimes they'll come over here
Come
and put
over.
the monitor back on and then they could go out.
Okay. So I was just told that we have the number to the GPS program in Brevard County.
Yes,
So-
it's John, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
No, that's okay. So what I'm trying to explain to you is we'll have our folks who are working on those out-of-county cases contact the GPS program to see if they'll come here to Orange County and put that back on you.
Okay, Your Honor, I see.
Okay, because it's not a hold from it's not a warrant hold or anything. It's just the private company. Okay, so that's what we'll need to do. Maybe your lawyer can do that, Mr. Harrison. Contact the GPS company that has the hold on.
Your Honor, if I may, I can make it probably easier in my cell phone and probably.
He's not talking. The court has a hold, not the GPS company. They have.
No, it's the GPS company, correct?
But if there's no court order, Judge, if there's no court order revoking his pre-trial release, there's no reason for him to have a hold. As of this point, if the judge hasn't signed an order revoking his pre-trial release in Brevard County, then this challenge should not be holding him.
But
there may be a GPS issue or whatnot, but on the same token, until Brevard County says we want him to be held for us, this challenge should not hold him.
Well,
especially given the circumstances.
Mr. Harrison, part of his release conditions are that he's on GPS monitoring. So the jail's not going to re-release him until that condition is complied with. So if you want to work on the hold, I would contact the GPS company to see if they're going to come put that monitor back on him.
I don't have a solution, Doc. I'm just arguing on behalf of my client.
Well, I'm telling you the solution, right? The solution is to call the company.
All right, I'll see what I can do in terms of resolving that, but I'm not optimistic at this point.
Your Honor, if I could.
Yes,
In my property, my cell phone, I have the actual guy's number that takes it off and removes it because he's had to take it off before for MRIs. So I have his direct cell phone number from the monitoring company.
Is it
It's John Fisher.
Fisher? We have it.
Yes.
I have it. I'm looking at it here, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to write this down for your lawyer.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Who was smoking, Dodge? Was it somebody else or was it my client?
Mr. Harrison, your client has not said anything that would harm his case in any way. Okay. Mr. Harris, would you approach and take that, please?
Thank you.
But once he's on now, Judge, we will contact them, see if
Okay.
they come down here.
Okay. So, Mr. Klem Kowski, you'll have to post the bond first.
Yes.
And then that company will be contacted by the jail, but your lawyer should be contacting them too to see if they'll come put the bracelet back on.
Okay.
All right, sir. Thank you.
I appreciate it, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're,
Thank you, Dodge.
you're welcome, sir.
Now, the excuse
Of course.
of the claim.
All right. Good morning.
Morning.
Tell me your name.
Rafael Baez.
Mr. Baez, you were arrested in 20 MM 2327 for interfering. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. Did you want to resolve your case today?
I don't want no public defender.
Pardon me?
I don't want no public defender.
My question to you is, do you want to resolve your case today, sir?
Yes, but without a public defender. And I
Okay.
want to plead no contest.
You have All right, sir. Are you on probation?
No.
Mr. Baez, my patients are getting really thin. You have to answer my questions audibly. Do you understand? All right, so your bond is $500. Thank you.
Your Honor, Basil bonded.
Okay.
John Doe refused.
Doe did?
Yes, ma'am. John Doe.
All right. Do you have an updated sheet for Mr. Doe? We don't have any. And because of his prints? All right, that's case number 20MM2335. I'm going to find a waiver of Mr. Doe's appearance based upon his refusal to come to court. There is probable cause. He's not to return to the Dollar Tree. He's to contact his lawyer within 24 hours of his release. I'm appointing the public defender, and I'm going to release him on his own recognizance.
Yeah, what, is this the John Doe counter?
Mhm.
Okay.
Your Honor, and Frederick.
Yes.
Frederick, he's mental health.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
Thank you. That's 20MM2328. Mr. Frederick was arrested for trespass after warning and resisting officer without violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. I'm going to release him on his own recognizance at this time. He's not to return to the Dollar General, and he's to contact his lawyer within 24 hours of his release from the jail.
Can I ask about Mr. Basil?
Who?
Manuma Basil?
Bonded. And are you Shirley Jonathas? No? Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, you're here in 20 MM 2329. You were arrested for conspiracy to commit petty theft. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return to Home Depot, and I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name?
Shamir Jackson.
How about Warfield? Dylan?
He's mental health, Your Honor. Mental health.
Now, they say he was mental health?
Correct.
I'll waive the pairs.
Thank you. On which one? I'm missing something? Oh, darn it. Okay. Thank you. All right, I'm going to appoint the public defender in 20 MM 2325. Mr. Warfield was arrested for trespass on property after warning. There's probable cause. He's not to return to the Greyhound station. I'm going to release him on his own recognizance at this time, and I'm not going to take any action on the out on bond case. Are you Miss Jackson?
Yes, I am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
You were arrested in case number 20 MM 2331 for trespass after warning in a conveyance. There's probable cause for that, as well as possession of drug paraphernalia. Did you want to resolve your case today, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I will appoint the public defender. Are you on probation?
No.
Okay. And ma'am, you understand that by entering this plea today, you're giving up your right to contest the charges?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in jail. You have credit for 2 days time served. You can't go back to 878 South Ivy Lane, and you have to abide by the trespass warning. You'll also have to pay court costs, which are due by March 27th of 2021, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Morning.
Your name?
Brian Gilbreth.
How about Lakithian McGee? Are you Mr. McGee?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you are here in case number, you have several cases this morning. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in all of them, sir. You have 20 CF 4010. You are arrested for possession of cocaine and possession of MDMA. There is probable cause. That your bond is $1,000 on count 1 and $150 on count 2. That provides the basis for the violation of probation in 16 CF 13265. Bond will be set at none in that matter. And you also have another violation of probation, which is 19 CF 6044. Bond will also be set at none, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Tell me your name again.
Brian Gilbreth.
I don't have that case. Gilbreth?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm looking for your paperwork, sir. Just give me a moment. You don't have it, no one else has it either? You're bonded. Your bond has been posted, sir. You're going to be released if you don't have any other holds.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Good morning, your name?
Good morning, Kervin de Jesus.
Sir, you are here in 2 cases. I will appoint the public defender to represent you in both. You have 20 MM 2334. You are arrested for petty theft. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. You also have 1997 MM11523. You failed to appear in that case for a violation of probation hearing. What division is that in? 62. Will there be anything in Odyssey about this case? $1997. What is the case number even? 1997. I don't know. Oh, on the front. Oh, MM. 11523. Is it AO? Yeah. Okay. No, you're nothing scanned. I don't know if I know the Rose case. I'm just sure. All right. Mr. De Jesus, at this time, I'm going to give you a court date in Division 62 on the violation of probation, sir. That is going to be May 18th at 8:30 a.m. It's in front of Judge Cameron. The bond on the violation of probation case is $1,000. Does the state have any objection to me resolving the petty theft?
Judge, I know that the petty theft could be a gradable offense depending if they've had priors as well as the different types of merchandise that
Right.
you're taking. So I don't know if that needs to be sent down in order for that to be looked up and found out about the record and see if we're going to enhance that.
Sure. Mr. De Jesus, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance at this time on the petty theft matter. You're not to return to the Home Depot. You need to contact your lawyer within 24 hours of release, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Your name?
Lene Blinn.
Miss Blinn, you are here in case number 19 CF 12942 and 20 MM 148. You were arrested for petty theft.
Yes, ma'am.
On which one? Which CFK? Oh, okay, the 12942. Who's that? Ms. Flynn, who's representing you on your possession of a controlled substance case?
The second one?
Yes.
I just hired a lawyer just the other day through Umansky Law Firm.
Okay.
I just hired them, and they were supposed to be getting the warrant taken care of because I was released on pretrial again. So one of the judges released me again, but the first judge didn't like it or something, so they violated.
So that's what I'm not understanding, Courtney, and I maybe have to talk to Sandy about it, but so she came through IA. The judge who saw her didn't take any action, and I don't know what else they may have added or changed to her pretrial. The one that has the affidavit for the violation of pretrial release. And then the officer submitted an affidavit for violation of pretrial release after she was seen by the initial appearance judge. No, I don't need to know that. I'm just going to talk to Sandy about that. All right, ma'am. Your bond in 20 MM 148 is $500. You are not to return to Walmart. I'm setting your bond in 19 CF 12942 at $500, and I'm taking no action on the possession of heroin case. Does she already have RUAs? Okay. 2731, yes, thank you. I'm not taking any action on it at this time. Thank you, ma'am.
Am I able to get bonded out today then?
Yes, so you have a $1,000 bond total.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
How you doing, Your Honor?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Tell me your name.
Luis Diaz, Alana.
Sir, you are here in case number 20 CF 4017. You are arrested for trafficking in heroin greater than 4 grams but less than 14 and possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is $25,000. Your bond on count 2 is $150,000. I am revoking the bond in 20 CF 1584. That will be set at none, sir. Thank you. Ma'am, good morning.
Good morning.
Tell me your name.
Anna Hammett.
Is she still bond pending or is her bond pending? She's not? Oh, did you need the updated on her?
What is going on with the bond thing? Like, I don't know what that's all about.
It looks, I think that they had an error on your face sheet, so it looked like you had bond pending, but you do not. Okay. You are here in 20 CF 3934. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant for retail theft of $750 or more, coordinated with others, and petty theft. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, ma'am. You are not to return to Best Buy, and I am going to release you on your own recognizance. At this time, you need to contact your lawyer within 24 hours of your release.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Tell me your name, please.
Tamir Hersey.
Mr. Hersey, you were here in case number 20 CF 4014. You were arrested for grand theft of a motor vehicle. Petty theft, robbery, resisting officer without violence, assault, and false information to a law enforcement officer during an investigation. I find probable cause in count 1 for a trespass, and I find probable cause in counts 2 through 6. Sir, you are not to have any contact with the alleged victim. I'll get you the statute number. I think it's 81008 is the simple trespass. Count one. You're not going to have any contact with the victim, the co-defendants. You're not to return to the 7-Eleven. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Bond on count one is going to be $100. Bond on count two will be $100. Bond on count three is going to be $3,500. Bond on count four is $100. Bond on count five is $100. Bond on count six is $100. Thank you, sir. Oh, wait, I'm not finished. You also have a warrant case, Mr. Hersey, in 20 CF 1558. You failed to register your bond, and that matters $2,000, and you do have reporting requirements when you're released from the jail. Thank you. Good morning, your name?
Johnny Holcomb.
Mr. Holcomb, you are here in 20 CF 3420. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant for fleeing and eluding. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is $4,000, sir. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Tell me your name.
Wendy Eifrin.
Sir, you're here in 20 CF 4016. You were arrested for grand theft of a firearm, carrying a concealed firearm, possession of cannabis less than 20 grams, and possession of drug paraphernalia. You're not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms, and I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time, sir.
I do have a probable cause challenge for the grand theft of the firearms.
Okay.
Per the arrest affidavit, it said it was found under the seat, but there's no facts that he had knowledge that the firearm was under the seat. No facts that he actually stole the firearm or aided in the theft of the firearm. I mean, the best argument here was constructive possession of stolen property. I'll actually have to find probable cause for the grand theft of the firearm.
All right. State, did you want to respond?
It was in the vehicle that he was in, Judge. It was within his possession, at least constructively, Your Honor. I don't know if there's any other persons in the vehicle yet. I wasn't aware of any kind of challenge at this point, so I'm pretty sure that
Okay. Well, I do find that there is probable cause for the offense. And Mr. Efrain, you're still going to be placed on pretrial release, sir.
What does that mean?
Are you confused? Do you have a question?
What happened?
So I've placed you on pretrial release, subject to the conditions that I just previously explained. Do you have any questions about that?
I don't know what pre-trial release means. That's my first time being here. I've never been in.
Sure. So you are not going to have to pay any money to get out of the jail today. You'll be released, but you're going to have to phone in and be monitored, be supervised until your case has been resolved in court.
All right.
All right, sir?
Yes.
Thank you. Good morning, your name?
Good morning, ma'am. Stephen Jackson.
Mr. Jackson, you're here in 20 CF 4015. You were arrested for accessory after the fact to a third-degree felony, resisting officer without violence, fleeing and eluding, false imprisonment, and grand theft of a motor vehicle. I find probable cause for all of the offenses except for count 4. I don't see any facts in the affidavit to establish the offense of false imprisonment. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Bond on count 1 is going to be $150. Bond on count 2 will be $100. Bond on count 3, $3,500. You'll be ROR'd as to count 4, and bond on count 5 is $100. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You're not to have any contact with the co-defendant. You're not to return to the 7-Eleven. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms, sir. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Ma'am, good morning.
Good morning.
Your name?
Taquisha Jacobs.
Ms. Jacobs, you're here in 20 CF 4013. You were arrested for grand theft of a motor vehicle and accessory after the fact to a third-degree felony. I find probable cause for a trespass as to count 1, that's 810.08. And I do find probable cause as to count 2. Ma'am, you are not to have any contact with the victim. You're not to return to 7-Eleven. You're not to have contact with the co-defendants. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. I am going to place you on pretrial release at this time. Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. Tell me your name, please.
My name is Brian Gabriel Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, you're here in 20 CF 4020. You were arrested for possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver, possession of tetrahydrocannabis, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of cannabis greater than 20 grams. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
How you doing?
Good morning.
Morning.
Tell me your name.
Jason Johnson, ma'am.
Mr. Johnson, sir, you are here in 20 CF 4007. You were arrested for grand theft of a motor vehicle. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is going to be $1,000. You're not to have any contact with the victim.
Can I be heard as to the out bond charges?
Sure.
I would ask the court not to revoke the bond. Per reading the arrest affidavit, seemed like a family dispute. I don't think that there was any intent to permanently deprive you on that. I would ask not to take any action on out bond charges.
Okay. Did the state want to respond?
I'll leave it on discretion.
Okay. Mr. Johnson, I'm not going to revoke your bond today on your out on bond cases.
Thank you.
All right, sir, but I don't want to see you back here.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing, ma'am?
Good, sir. Tell me your name, please.
Jamal Dion LaFortune.
Mr. LaFortune, this is 19 CF 6670. You were arrested for failing to appear at a status hearing back on March 12th. I did speak to Judge LeBlanc on your capias.
Excuse me, Judge.
Just 1 second.
Sorry.
It's okay. All right, I thought he had given me an amount, but he didn't. He just said I could modify it. Okay, so I'm going to set you a bond. On count 1 is going to be $1,500.
Yes, ma'am.
Count 2 is going to be $150. And this time, I'm not going to take any action on the out on bond case.
I appreciate it so much, ma'am.
You're welcome, sir.
I
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Your name?
Kevin, ma'am.
Mr. Mann, this is 20 CF 4004. You were arrested for burglary of a conveyance and petty theft. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. In both of your cases, you also have 20 CF 4005, again, a burglary of a conveyance and petty theft, for which there's also probable cause. Your bond on count 1 in the 4004 case is going to be $1,500. Bond on count 2 will be $100. Bond on 4005 will be $1,500 on count 1 and $100 on count 2. You're not to return to the scene of either offense, have contact with either of the victims, or possess any weapons, sir. Thank you.
Did that pop up today?
Pardon me?
Those charges pop up today? Because that's not what
Are you here on something else?
Yeah, lording and prowling.
It looks to me like these are add-on charges based upon the facts that I read.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
And he also has a, out-of-state hold.
Okay. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Tell me your name, please.
Marvin Pierre.
Mr. Pierre, sir, you were here in case number 20 CF 4018. You were arrested for carrying a concealed firearm. There's probable cause, sir. I'm appointing the public defender to represent you. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time, sir. Thank you.
Could you repeat that?
Yes, you're going to be placed on pretrial release, and you're not to possess any weapons or firearms.
Okay.
Thank you. Sir, good morning.
Good morning.
Your name?
Jeffrey McWhorter.
Mr. McWhorter, you were here in 20 CF 4008, along with a couple of violations of probation. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. You were arrested for burglary of an occupied dwelling, criminal mischief, resisting officer with violence, and without violence. There is probable cause. Bond on count 1 is $5,000. Bond on count 2 and 3 is $150. Bond on count 4 is $100. You're not to return to the scene or have contact with the victim, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Those charges provide the basis for the probable cause and the violation, I guess is it just one, of the violation of probation out of Volusia County. That bond will be set at none, sir. Thank you.
Excuse me. See, that's I'm not on probation for Volusia County at all. I did my time already for Volusia County. I got out February 4th of last year. See, that's what I was telling the police when they was arresting me. They kept saying I had a grand theft auto for Volusia County, but I'm not on probation in Volusia County.
It looks like you're in probation in Volusia and Seminole County.
No, I'm only on probation in Seminole County. That's it. I did my time for Volusia County already.
Okay.
I did that last year. I got out February 4th of last year.
Right, but you still have you're still on probation, sir, and you've still allegedly committed these new law offenses, which provides the basis for the no bond on the violation of probation.
No, I was already violated before I caught these charges. I caught this charge out from running, and they tackled me through.
I don't want you to talk about your case, okay? I need the facts, okay? But it's a no bond on the VOP.
All right.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Tell me your name, please.
Brunel Montes Jr.
Mr. Mertis, sir, you were here in a 20 CF 3999. You were arrested for burglary of a conveyance and grand theft, 3rd degree. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return to the scene. You're not to have any contact with the victim. Your bond on count 1 is going to be $1,500. Bond on count 2 is $150, sir. Thank you.
When I pay those bonds, I'll be reinstated and released, right?
Well, I do see that you're on probation. You don't have a 5-day hold. And it looks like you have other charges that you're here on as well.
They're all the same charge, but they're different. They separated to different case numbers.
Like different cars?
Yeah, no, there's different
Right.
cars, and they hit me with the one on the east side of town and the one on the west side of town, which makes no sense.
Well, listen, I'm not saying that any of the cases are correct or true.
Mm-hmm.
So my job is to tell you why you're here and what your conditions of release are.
And then
so
this is not a VOP arraignment, or no?
This is not a VOP. This is a new case with the offense date of March 6th. So it's an add-on charge.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't know if the probation officers filed a violation of probation yet or not.
So technically, they filed on my charge, on this one right here.
No, this is a new case.
Okay, for this new case, but so my 33rd day, it's a possibility they still could drop it on my 33rd day, right?
I don't understand your question. Are you talking about this case?
Yeah, with this case, is it possible?
Sir, I have no idea what the state of Florida is going to decide about charging it.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you.
I'm not trying to make more, 20 CF 3999 is the case you addressed, is that correct? And then there's a second case, I think, of 20 CF 3131. Oh, there might be a third case.
He only had,
Okay, thank you.
good morning. Are you Miss Mott?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, you are here in case number 20 CF 3994. You were arrested for possession of methamphetamine, possession of cocaine, possession of Xanax, possession of a prescription drug without a prescription, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. I find probable cause for counts 1, 2, 3, and 5. I do not find probable cause as to count 4. State, did you want to be heard? I didn't see any facts regarding a prescription drug.
None of those drugs were even on me. They were.
Ma'am, listen, I don't want you to talk about your case right now because everything can be used against you, and I'm not saying it's true. I'm just telling you why you're here and what your conditions of release are, okay?
Okay.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
well, it doesn't show that she had a prescription for it. It's not also showing that they asked her for a prescription for the pill, so I understand rounding off.
Okay. So, ma'am, your bond is going to be $1,000 on count 1, $150 on count 2 and 3. You'll be RR on count 4. Count 5, your bond is $100. At this time, I'm not going to take any action on the Osceola County case.
What does that mean?
I don't. Is there another case? Oh. Mm-mm.
Where's the Grand Theft Auto case?
Hold on, Miss Mott. We're gonna figure that out. I don't want you to talk to me about your cases, okay? It's 3993, I think. The one, I think it probably came together. They just put it on 2 affidavits. It's 20 CF 3993. 1,000. All right, there is probable cause for the grand theft of the motor vehicle. It's part of the other affidavit. Bond will be $150 on that case. Thank you, Jackie. I'm gonna set that up there for you. Sir, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Good morning. My name is Candy Petite-Home.
Sir, you are here in case number 20 CF 4009. You were arrested for possession of ecstasy, tampering with physical evidence, possession of cannabis less than 20 grams, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. I do find probable cause for counts 1, 3, and 4. I did not see any facts to indicate that any of the evidence had been tampered with. State, did you want to be heard?
30 seconds.
Sure.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Wait, just give me a minute, okay?
Okay.
Judge, I don't have the arguments over there.
Okay. And Mr. Petitholm doesn't qualify for PTR? Mr. Petitholm, where do you live?
Where do I live?
Yeah.
I was staying with a friend.
Where?
In Indian Hill. Off of
Where?
Indian Hill. Off of Indian Hill, I want to say the name of the street is Riordan.
Is that in Pine Hills?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Pedom, I'm appointing the public defender to represent you. You understand that if I release you today, you have to return for your court date, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you're gonna contact your lawyer within 24 hours of your release from the jail. You're not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance at this time. I do not find probable cause as to count two.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir. Tell me your name, please.
Bradley Ray Pritchett.
Mr. Pritchett, you are here in case number 19 CF 10489. Sir, you failed to appear for a case management conference back in November. Your bond on count 1 is $2,500. Your bond on count 2 is $100. You have 20 CF 3988. You were arrested for possession of methamphetamine and possession of heroin. There is probable cause, sir. Your bond on count 1 is $1,000. Your bond on count 2 is $150, sir. Thank you, sir. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Crystal Robinson.
Ms. Raspin, you are here in case number 20 CF 4021. You were arrested for grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle.
Refused court.
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. What was your name?
Crystal Robinson.
Oh, they sound, okay, Raspin and Robinson. I'm sorry, ma'am. Ma'am, you were arrested in 20 CF 4011 for accessory after the fact to a third degree felony and grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle. You have a couple cases this morning. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in all of them. I do find probable cause as to count 1. I find probable cause for a trespass as to count 2, and that's statute 810.08. So she'll be ROR'd on count 2. Bond on count 1 is $500. Ma'am, in that matter, you are not to have any contact with the co-defendants or the victim. You're not to return to 7-Eleven, and you are not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Accessory after the fact. Oh, with the bond? 500, I stated. And then, ma'am, you were arrested pursuant to a warrant in 20 CF 2980 for possession of ecstasy and possession of drug paraphernalia. So it's under an alias. Regina Battle is who that's under. Ma'am, your bond on count 1 is $1,000. Your bond on count 2 is $150. You're not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription. And then in 20 MM 290, you were arrested for obstruction by false information. There is probable cause for that offense. Your bond will be $100. Thank you, ma'am.
Your Honor, Sieber refused court.
All right, I'll take care. And you said Raspin was a refusal as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so in that case, Mr. Raspin was arrested in 20 CF 4021 for grand theft of a motor vehicle. There's probable cause. I'm appointing the public defender. He's not to have any contact with the victim. Bond will be stayed at $1,000. I am revoking the bond in 20 CF 3469. That bond's going to be set at none. Mr. Thompson, he was just released on the 16th for the same offense. All right, and then we'll go ahead and do, Mr. Sieber was a refusal, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to find a waiver of his appearance based upon his refusal to come to court. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent him. He was arrested in 20 CF 3980 pursuant to a probable cause habeas. The state has filed the 2-count information charging him with written threats to kill or do bodily injury and threatening a public servant with the intent to influence a public duty. He is not to have any contact with either of the victims. He's not to possess any weapons or firearms. Bond on count 1 is $15,000. Bond on count 2 is $5,000. Sir, good morning.
Good morning.
Your name, please?
Shane Schaefer.
Mr. Schaefer, this is 19 CF 12303. You failed to appear for case management conference. And I spoke to Judge LeBlanc on your case, and he has asked me to set a bond. At this time, your bond is going to be set at $1,000, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. You need to contact your lawyer within 24 hours of your release from the jail.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, wait, Mr. Schaefer? You have a hold at this time out of, is it Miami-Dade? Sorry, out of Columbia County for a violation of probation. Has he been seen on that already? Is he on our list? Schaefer? Oh, so he'll be on the list, the new list. How are we getting the people who are not, are we on the people that we're getting on that list? Because he won't be seen at IA for an out of county because it hasn't been served, right? Ah, okay. Then he'll get put on our list. If it's just a hold, they have to post the bond on our case and then they'll get put on the list. Got it. Okay, so Mr. Schaefer, just so you are aware, due to the virus right now, none of the jails are picking up the inmates. So once you post bond on your Orange County case, you'll get put on a list as to, we'll be contacting the judge in Columbia County regarding their case to see what they'd like to do, and you'll be brought back to court at that time, sir. But that won't happen until you post the bond on your Orange County case.
Okay.
All right?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name?
Marcy Sierra.
Mr. Sierra, sir, you are here in case number 20 CF 4019, where you were arrested for carrying a concealed firearm and possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. There is probable cause for those offenses. You also have 20 CT 2272, which is a driving while license suspended case, which there's also probable cause for. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you.
I have a probable cause challenge for the carrying concealed firearm.
Okay, go ahead.
Per the written affidavit, the firearm was an open view. The law enforcement officer clearly states in the arrest affidavit that the firearm was clearly visible. I actually found probable cause for open carry, not carry concealed.
So, Mr. Thompson, in the affidavit, it says, I was unable to observe the weapon due to his seated position.
Well,
so I'm going to find probable cause.
It's not a carry concealed firearm, Your Honor. He said that when he looks into the car, that he's not going to be able to see it because of his position. But the firearm was in clear. He said that in the
But Mr. Thompson, I disagree with you and I ruled, so we're going to move on. Mr. Marcy, I'm going to set your bond on count 1 at $1,000. Bond on count 2 will be $100, and then on the driving while license suspended, your bond will also be $100. Did you want to resolve the no valid driver's license case that you have this morning?
Yes, ma'am. I was, yes.
Yes, okay. How many days does Mr., it looks like he's got 18 days, is that correct? On the no valid? The what? Yes.
I just wondered if it's approved to move forward with that case only because that's an enhanceable offense as well. Once we get the driving record, it can be something that can be enhanced to having a couple prior as well, since it becomes a felony, it can be a habitual offender. There's other things that can be charged and court is going to be law.
No, that's a case that can be resolved at first appearance.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The citation is the charging affidavit.
Okay.
The out on bond form says he was arrested on the 2nd and he bonded on the 20th. 18 days? All right. This says he's on PTR, but.
Yeah, but he came in on 1, 2, and pre-trial release come on the same day. And then now he's back now.
Was a capias ever served on it? It was served today, so he's coming back tomorrow on that capias?
If he was on,
Got it. Okay, but does he have the 18 days?
I don't see it.
Okay. So this looks like he was arrested. This sheet's wrong. The traffic violation was October 28th.
Yeah.
Was he even arrested on that? Was it a notice to appear?
Case is arrested. He was arrested on 1/30, or 1/2, or 2020. He was released the same day.
It was one day.
That's one day, and then now he's arrested now for the total period is 2 days.
So it's 3 total.
3 days.
3? Okay. All right, Mr. Marcy, you're not on probation, are you, sir?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And you understand by entering this plea today, you are giving up your right to contest any of these the charges related to the no valid driver's license.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir. I'm going to accept your plea, going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in jail. You've got credit for 3 days time served. You are going to have to pay court costs. Those are due by March 27th of 2021.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir. Thank you. Good morning. Ma'am, tell me your name, please.
Miracle Holland.
Miss Holland, you are here for an out-of-county warrant out of Hillsborough County related to trafficking and stolen property. At this time, it looks like it's a violation of probation. Your bond is set at none. Ma'am, at this time, Hillsborough County is not picking up their inmates to transport them back due to the virus. So what we're doing at this time is we're contacting the judge who issued the warrant in your case to see how they'd like to handle it, if they'd like to modify it. Once we receive an answer to that question, you'll be brought back to court for us to tell you what the answer is, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Good morning, sir. Are you Mr. Schaefer? Yes?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer, you're here for an out-of-county warrant out of Seminole County related to failing to appear on a trespass and a possession of drug paraphernalia. At this time, your bond is set at none. As I just indicated to the previous defendant, we are reaching out to the judges who issued the warrants to see if they'd like them to be modified, and once we receive an answer, you'll be brought back to court.
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
You Mr. Tucker?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Tucker, you are also here for an out-of-county warrant out of Leon County for a violation of probation based upon the allegation that you committed the new law offense of aggravated battery on March 5th of this year in Orange County, Florida, in case number 20 CF 3442. There's probable cause for the violations of probation, sir. Those will be set at none. Have you bounded out on the Orange County case?
Excuse me, ma'am?
No, he has not. Okay, so Mr. Tucker, you have 2 violations of probation cases out of Leon County based upon the case that you're being held here in Orange County for.
Yes, ma'am.
Once that Orange County case has been resolved or you bond on it, then we will notify Leon County that you are here on the violation of probation to see how they'd like to handle that. Because they're not transporting people to Leon County at this time.
Can I bond out on Orange County?
I don't know. Yes, what's his bond?
He has two $1,000 bonds and one $500.
So 2,500 looks like your bond is here in Orange County. Once you do that, Leon County will be contacted regarding your violation of probation.
And I won't be able to bond out to then.
Well, right, so you have a no bond status for your violations of probation, and I don't know what the judge who sentenced you to probation wants to do with that case. That's what we're trying to figure out.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Good morning, your name?
Morning, Your Honor. Tyrone Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, you were here also for an out-of-county warrant out of Martin County.
No, ma'am.
Pardon me?
No, ma'am. I actually saw you 3 days in a row. The day before yesterday.
Oh, are you Mr.
in
Johnson?
Seminole County, actually.
Yes. I don't
Yes,
have
ma'am.
Mr. Johnson's paperwork. Is he just on the add-on? Did Joe give an add-on docket? Is that over there?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Johnson, just give me 1 second. I'm gonna go through these last cases I have here, and then I'll address your case, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
How about Valoria Oscar?
ROR, Your Honor.
Okay. And then John Hedridge.
He refused.
It was just a refusal?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, well, I'm gonna find a waiver of and he's refusing today.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm gonna find a waiver of his appearance based upon his refusal to attend court in 20 MM 2321. He was arrested for trespassing. I'm going to release him on his own recognizance at this time, appoint the public defender. He's not to return to AMSCA. And then Mr. Vega Alonso.
He's medical, Your Honor.
And then I'm going to find a waiver of his appearance based upon him not being able to come to court. Appoint the public defender to represent him. I'm going to release him on his own recognizance. He is not to return to Stop and Shop Grocery. Thank you. All right, Mr. Johnson, we did reach out to
Thank you, Lord.
Judge, I believe it's Judge Rex Seidler.
Yes, ma'am.
And at this time, Judge Rex Seidler has indicated that your bond is to remain at none on the VOP. So you'll have to have your lawyer get in touch with Ms. Adamson and get some advice from her on what you should do next, okay?
All right.
All right, thank you, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Tell me your name.
Ashley Laughlin.
Yes, Ms. Laughlin, we were also able to get into contact with the judge in your matter, and at this time, your bond is to remain at none. So you need to get in contact with your lawyer on this case. Yeah. Who did? No. Okay, I have an email from Judge Rex Seidler that it can't be modified. Well, how do I fix that? Okay, that needs to be changed, so I'll need to do another order. So, on these cases, are we using the same order that we used earlier in the week? Okay. Arlene, there's an order that Denise used on, what day was I last here? Wednesday? Regarding the Nevada County cases. So we're gonna need to get an order together, because we're gonna have these cases regularly. And it's okay if we don't have it this minute, but once we break, we can get it sorted out. But maybe, and I'll note on the docket what they are. All right, Ms. Laughlin, as I stated, we did speak with the judge who's assigned to your case, and your bond is to remain at none, ma'am. Thank you.
So the bond they gave me yesterday isn't.
Is not correct, ma'am. I'm sorry. Good morning. Your name?
Good morning.
Tell me your name.
Mannix Martinez.
Let's see. Mr. Martinez, I was able to speak to Judge Madagrill regarding your case. You are to be released on your own recognizance. Your next court date is June 17th at 8:30 a.m. in courtroom 5D in Osceola County. Why don't you write this down?
Sorry.
Or will it be in his paperwork when he's released?
Not sure.
All right, we'll get orders on the break.
All right. You said June 15th?
June 17th
17th.
in courtroom 5D at 8:30 a.m., sir.
That's Osceola?
Yes, sir.
5D?
Correct.
Alrighty.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
So that was Mr. Mannix, right? Did I miss an email? What about Jonathan Hernandez? He did bond? Okay. So I can. Good, okay. And then I saw Tanner. I saw Mr. Johnson. I saw Miss Laughlin. And then I think that's all of our bringbacks for those. Okay, good. All right. And then Earlene, I will, we'll figure out the orders for those, because we're gonna, hopefully maybe Tiffany can create like a form order for those, for this new process while things are the way that they are. I'm gonna bring that back to the office with me. And then are we all set on the 33-day motions?
I think Mr. Northridge is contacting somebody about that right now.
Okay.
He'll be returned shortly.
Pardon me?
He'll be returned shortly, so he just stepped out.
Are you ready to proceed on the felony docket?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we'll come back to the 33-day motions then. Dexter, are you guys good on the second part of the docket?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, good. Thank you. All right, I've got Selena Perez Vasquez.
Give me 1 second.
Oh, sure, no problem. Sorry, Dexter. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Selena
What's your last name?
Vasquez.
All right, ma'am, you were arrested in 20 CF 4023 for battery on a corrections officer. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is $1,000, ma'am. Thank you. Oh, I meant to say $2,500. I meant to say the bond on that case. Thank you, Arlene. Good morning, sir. Tell me your name, please.
Joel Nieves Sanchez.
How about Mr. Rivera Rosa? Got it.
Joel Nieves Sanchez.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. You are here in case number 20 CF 4028. You were arrested for possession of a concealed weapon or firearm by a convicted felon, possession of ammunition by a convicted felon, trafficking in more than 400 grams of cocaine with a firearm, and possession of a weapon in the commission of a felony. There is probable cause for the offenses, sir. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Did the state want to be heard with respect to bond on count 3 that is a punishable by life felony?
At Your Honor's discretion.
Okay. Are you asking me to make a finding that there is proof evident or presumption great based upon the information that's contained in the arrest affidavit?
I guess I get to review, Your Honor.
Sure.
Yes, Your Honor. The state is asking for Your Honor to find that there is proof evident and presumption great.
Okay. So, Mr. Thompson, did you want to be heard?
You know, actually, not presumption great. There's more than one individual involved, Your Honor, so you really can't say for sure who the firearm belongs to until further investigations are conducted and more evidence is collected. I will ask you do not find presumption great instead of monetary bond in this case.
All right. Well, based upon all of the detailed facts contained within the affidavit, including the paperwork with the defendant's name on it found inside of the bag, I'm going to find that there is proof evident or presumption great at this time. Bond on count 3 will remain at none. Bond on count 1 is going to be set at $5,000. Bond on count 2, $150. Bond on count 4 will be $150. Mr. Sanchez, you're not to have any contact with any of your co-defendants in this case. You're also not to possess any weapons or firearms or possess any controlled substances without a valid prescription. Thank you, sir.
Okay, step out. Take your paper.
Could you not hear me, sir?
Your Honor, I think he's going to need an interpreter, Your Honor.
I see. Okay, well, we'll do that one again. Does Mr. Serrano Bonilla need an interpreter?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see you this afternoon. Thank you. Sir, good morning. Tell me your name, please. Sir, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes,
Good morning. Yes, can you see me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir.
I have ringing in my ears and it's hard for me to hear.
I'm sorry, sir. Do you need an assistive device?
It may help at times.
Sure. Okay, we have some headphones over there that you can use.
Oh my God, is that better?
Oh, good. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir. Are you Mr. Welts?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Welts, you were arrested for driving under the influence with the BAL greater than .15. There is probable cause, sir. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to drive without a valid driver's license. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or controlled substances without a valid prescription. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance at this time. You need to contact the public defender's office within 24 hours of your release. Which I guess would be Monday, actually. Contact them on Monday, by the following business day.
Okay, fantastic.
All right, sir, thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Tell me your name.
Elijah Deliska.
Mr. Deliska, you were arrested in 20 MM 2337 for battery. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return to 7-Eleven. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Your bond is $500.
Thank you.
Has an information been filed in this matter? Mr. Deliska, is Mr. Bigney still representing you on the resisting officer without violence case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm not going to take any action on that case today. Get in touch with Mr. Bigney when you're released, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Tell me your name.
Travis Norwood.
Mr. Norwood, you are here for an out-of-county warrant out of Hernando County. Your bond, sir, is set at none. As I've been explaining to everyone who's here for an out-of-county warrant, the counties are not currently picking up the inmates, so we're going to reach out to the judge who issued the warrant in your case to see if they'd like the conditions to be modified. Once we hear back from them, you'll be brought back to court so we can tell you what the response was.
Okay.
All right? Thank you, sir. Hey, Mr. Williams?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, sir. Thank you. You are here for an out-of-county warrant out of Seminole County.
Yes.
Looks like it's a violation of probation.
Yes.
At this time, sir, your bond is set at none. As I told the last gentleman, we are contacting the judges who issued the warrants on these cases to see if they'd like them to be modified. You'll be brought back to court once we hear an answer.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
How about Mr. Willis?
He's medical.
All right. I'm going to waive Mr. Willis's appearance. This is an out-of-county warrant from Seminole County. His bond is set at none, and he'll get added to the list for us to contact the out-of-county people. And then I have Mendoza. Spanish.
Mr. Mendoza is going to be a Spanish interpreter case, Your Honor.
Got it. Okay. So he's not coming today? He's medical?
No.
Okay.
No, Your Honor. That cell has been cleared.
Oh.
It just happened. So he's back on
Got
the
it.
Spanish list.
Okay. I'll leave him. Thank you very much, Dexter. That's okay. And then I think we just have the 33-day stuff.
Yeah. About Sanchez, trafficking cocaine.
Yeah.
Why is that a PBL?
Read the statute.
It says over 150 kilograms.
It's more than 28 grams. But Mr. Thompson, I'm not dealing with that issue right now, so we can talk about it later. Okay? All right. All right. Is the state ready on the 33-day motions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, this is 20 CF 2503, Jarko Harrison.
Judge, my understanding is the attorney that has this emailed us back saying she believes the 33-day will not run until the 28th, which is tomorrow. So I'm not sure if it's pushed up a day. I'm thinking it's pushed back to Monday. It's not usually on a weekend, correct?
Mr. Thompson, what is your position?
I'll ask for the motion to grant, Your Honor.
Well, do you think the state's right? It's a right or wrong? I mean, is it ripe or not?
Can you repeat that?
Is the motion ripe or
My
not?
email to the attorney that has this position said the 33 days will not run until the 28th. So her position is that she would have minimum the 28th, but since the 28th is a Saturday, theoretically she would have until Monday to file.
I can hear you, Your Honor.
That's the only problematic one.
I have the 30th day as the 26th. It was yesterday, Your Honor.
Right, but they're entitled to release on the 33rd day if information hasn't been filed. Right? So if yesterday was the 30th day, and then, so that means that 33rd day would be on Saturday, right? So she would be allowed to file her motion on Monday.
That's what she's stating, Your Honor.
That's right. So the motion's gonna be denied.
Thank you.
20 CF 2492 Mark Krupnicki.
Judge, I had a notice of non-filing.
All right, that motion will be granted. Stephen Thayer.
The information was e-filed, filed on 80454.
There we go. All right, it's 20 CF 2625, and that motion will be denied.
Thank you, Your Honor.
CF 2626 Stephen Thayer.
Apparently, the evidence consolidated and filed this along with case number 20 CF 2625.
All right, so that will be granted then. So it's consolidated into the other case. And this is 20 CF 2574 Ryan Cap.
Ryan Cap, Your Honor. I have that we have a notice of non-file.
All right, that'll be granted. And then Brian Sanchez, 20 CF 2616.
Information is e-filed, filing ID 105-0990.
All right, then that'll be denied.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, and then court will be in recess. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. We can't do that right now. No, we cannot. Okay. All right, thanks so much. Okay, bye. We got it, I think. So I'm gonna try to bring in the interpreter.
So no headphones, Your Honor?
I'm gonna tell him no, just to not touch anything. Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, okay. Is the interpreter present?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, I'm just gonna ask you not to change anything or try to log into the headphones. We're just gonna do it over the loudspeaker.
No problem.
Okay, thank you. I don't know what Mr. Menendez heard, if anything. Can you ask him if there's anything that he needs me to explain to him, please?
Señor Menéndez, ¿usted necesita que se le explique algo?
¿De qué? ¿De lo que está pasando? El juez de ayer me dijo que si, porque no eran pruebas suficientes, que me iban a poner libertad bajo palabra si la fiscal tenía 24 horas o algo así para conseguir más pruebas.
Well, regarding what? I mean, the judge yesterday told me that if there wasn't enough proof, then I would be ROR'd and the state would be given 24 hours.
Correct. And the state brought back the proof today, and there was sufficient proof.
Correcto. Y la fiscalía ha traído las pruebas hoy y sí existe o sí hay suficientes pruebas.
No entiendo porque yo andaba con mi mujer cuando la guardia nos paró y estábamos los dos juntos en el carro normal y nos arrestaron a los dos. Y en verdad eso no pasó.
Well, I don't really get it because my wife, my lady and I were together when the female police officer stopped us. We were both together in the car, just like normal, and they arrested both of us, and that didn't happen.
Right. I'm not saying that it did, sir. You'll have to talk to your lawyer about the facts of your case.
Bueno, no estoy diciendo que sí pasó, pero usted va a tener que hablar con su abogado sobre los detalles del caso.
Thank you, sir.
Gracias.
Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Buenas tardes. ¿Cómo se llama usted?
Julio Rivera.
Julio Rivera.
Mr. Rivera, you were arrested in 20 CF 4026 for trafficking in cocaine greater than 400 grams with a firearm and possession of a weapon in the commission of a felony. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. State, did you want to be heard with respect to bond on count one?
Again, we have a very serious crime involving a firearm and drugs. These two don't necessarily go together.
Are you asking?
Bond is set at the proper amount.
So, count one is a punishable by life felony that should be set at no bond.
Judge, I would ask for no bond at this time.
Are you asking the court to find that there's proof evident or presumption great based on the information in the arrest affidavit?
I am, because the affidavit does allege the fact that there are drugs, there are guns, an AK-47 assault weapon was found, drugs were found, there was a car full of there was a car with several gentlemen in it that were being, I can't use the investigation into a homicide really against them, I guess, at this point. We all know the background of this was looking into a homicide case. When this Mustang was seen driving through the parking lot near a 7-Eleven, pulls in the parking lot, they identified the car as being owned by one of the suspects. When they stopped the car, some of the suspects jumped out, one with a red satchel. He dumps the items into a trash can inside the 7-Eleven. Those items are a gun. Drugs are found within the car. Several people are found within the car. All had access to weapons within the vehicle, as well as the satchel that contained the weapons. Based upon those factors, Your Honor, the state does ask for that.
Do you want to be heard, Mr. Thompson?
Yeah, Your Honor, just until a more conclusive, more thorough investigation is conducted, I would ask that you said a bond amount of $250,000 to maybe $500,000, Your Honor, and not find probation or presumption, right?
So with respect to Mr. Rivera Rosa, I do not find that there is proof evident or presumption great based upon the information in the charging affidavit.
Muy bien, el caso del señor Rivera Rosa determinó que la prueba de culpabilidad no es evidente o que la presunción es mayor, basado en el affidavit acusatorio.
The bag in which the drugs were found contained the paperwork of the other two co-defendants, and Mr. Rivera Rosa was in the back seat as a passenger.
Y la bolsa donde se encontraron, en la bolsa se encontraron las drogas, se encontraron los documentos de los otros dos acusados, pero el señor Rivera Rosa era un pasajero en el asiento de atrás.
So while there is probable cause, there is not proof evident or presumption great.
Así que aunque hay motivo fundado, no determinó que no hay presunción, que la prueba de culpabilidad sea evidente o que la presunción sea mayor.
I'm going to set the bond at $250,000 on count one.
La fianza entonces que le voy a asignar sobre el cargo 1 es de $250,000.
150 on count two.
150 hacia el cargo 2.
You're not to have any contact with your co-defendant, sir.
Y señor, le está prohibido tener contacto con los coacusados.
Sí, no problem. Okay.
You are not to possess any weapons or firearms.
Le está prohibido poseer armas o armas de fuego.
Okay.
You're not to possess any controlled substances without a valid prescription.
También le está prohibido poseer sustancias reguladas si no tiene una receta válida para ello.
Okay.
I am revoking the bond in 20 MM 2213. That's going to be set at none.
Y la
Thank you,
fianza que
sir.
se le había asignado en el caso 20 MM 2213 queda revocada.
Hoy. Muy bien.
I'm sorry, the defendant saying that he did not hear.
Que no escuché lo que me dijo, pues.
¿Me escucha ahora?
Sí, dígame.
Okay, I'm sorry, Your Honor. Since the defendant said that he did not hear well, does Your Honor want the interpreter to repeat the last thing that Your Honor said?
Yes, please.
Y la fianza que se le había asignado en el caso 20 MM 223 queda revocada y está sin fianza en ese caso.
¿Cuál es el caso es ese?
Which case is that one?
The domestic violence battery.
El de
El
la...
caso de agresión, violencia doméstica.
Pero tengo fianza del otro.
But I have a bond on the other one.
Correct.
Pero
Correcto.
Si me fío de uno, como quiera me quedo preso.
But if I bond on one, I'm still going to be detained.
That's correct.
Es correcto.
¿Está bien?
All right.
Good afternoon, sir. Please tell me your name.
Luis Felipe
Buenas
Serrano.
tardes. ¿Cómo se llama usted?
Luis Felipe Serrano.
Luis Felipe Serrano.
Sí, correcto.
Sir, you were here in 20 CF 4029. You were arrested for trafficking in cocaine greater than 400 grams with a firearm, possession of a weapon, and the commission of a felony. There's probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender to represent you.
Usted se le acusa en el caso 20 CF 4029 por posesión de. I'm sorry, Honor. Was the charge possession of cocaine or trafficking cocaine?
Sorry, trafficking in cocaine greater than 400 grams with a firearm.
El caso es, la acusación es traficar con cocaína más de 400 gramos teniendo un arma de fuego y también posesión de un arma al cometer un delito mayor. Determinó que hay motivo fundado y le nombro a los defensores públicos.
This is Mr. Serrano Bonilla.
Yeah.
Were you asking the court to make a finding as to count 1 regarding proof evident or presumption great?
Yes, Your Honor, I didn't see more than me for the co-defendant, but I'll add to this defendant specificness is probably not even a word. To specify that in fact he was in the front seat of the car, and in that front seat was found a Glock pistol with an extended magazine. So that was ready in his disposal, in addition to all the other items that were found within the car, as I mentioned before, a lot of those other weapons. But this was specific to where he was seated and full access.
Mr. Thompson?
Your Honor, I would ask the court not to find proof evidence presumption great until further investigations are conducted. Client appears to have no criminal history whatsoever. UC9 unknown.
That doesn't have anything to do with proof evident or presumption great, though.
That was just for the court's consideration.
I see.
I would just ask the court to exercise discretion and set in a monetary bond in this case. I know it's going to be high, but I'll just ask the court not to find proof evidence great at this time.
I think that the affidavit establishes proof evident or presumption great. The 518 grams of cocaine was found in a leather bag that had Mr. Bonilla's paperwork inside of the bag. So, Mr. Bonilla, your bond on count 1 is going to be none.
Señor Bonilla, entonces la fianza para el cargo número 1 es que no se le está dando fianza.
¿Por qué?
Why not?
You're not entitled to bond on that count, sir.
Porque en lo que tiene que ver con ese cargo no tiene derecho a que se le asigne una fianza.
¿Qué cargo? No sé cuál es.
Which charge? I don't know which one.
The trafficking in cocaine greater than 400 grams with a firearm.
El cargo que es por traficar con cocaína más de 400 gramos teniendo un arma de fuego.
Bond on count 2 is $5,000.
La fianza en la segunda acusación, cargo número 2, es de $5,000.
You are not to have any contact with your co-defendants.
Le está prohibido tener contacto con los coacusados.
You're not to possess any weapons or firearms.
Le está prohibido poseer armas o armas de fuego.
You're not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription.
Y le está prohibido poseer o consumir sustancias reguladas si no tiene una receta válida para ello.
Thank you, sir.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Are you Mr. Sanchez?
He's medical, Your Honor. Sanchez.
The same gentleman who was here this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, I'm going to waive Mr. Sanchez's appearance and appoint the public defender to represent him in 20 CF 4028. He was arrested for possession of a concealed weapon or firearm by a convicted felon, possession of ammunition by a convicted felon, trafficking in cocaine greater than 400 grams with a firearm, and possession of a weapon in the commission of a felony. State, did you want to rely on your previous arguments with respect to count 3?
I have a few more with respect to this specific defendant.
Sure.
Actually, the trail of evidence leads back to his actual residence. We're able to track that back. We're able to find evidence in the house, including weapons, drugs again. But more importantly, I think, is when they stopped the Mustang. He is seen on surveillance footage at the 7-Eleven getting out of the Mustang with a red satchel. That red satchel has been dumped into the 7-Eleven bathroom and found to have the following items within the satchel. So I believe it's fully loaded Glock pistol, magazine containing 9 .40 caliber bullets. Other evidence. So that's specific to him here.
Mr. Thompson, did you want to be heard?
Yeah, not to ask the court, not to find the evidence presumption great for the court consideration. The client has 0 criminal history. I would ask the court to, because of that fact, consider setting a monetary bond in this case.
All right. Well, the state's met their burden to establish that there's proof evident or presumption great. Bond on count 1 is $5,000. Bond on count 2 is $150. Bond on count 3 will remain at none. Bond on count 4 will be $150. He's not to have contact with co-defendants, possess any weapons or firearms or any controlled substances without a valid prescription. Sir, tell me your name, please.
¿Cómo se llama usted?
Todd Breezeball.
You speak English, sir? Yes. Okay. Mr. Interpreter, I'm sorry. I believe that was the last Spanish case that I had.
No problem, Judge. Thank
I'm
you.
sorry I didn't let you go sooner. Thank you so much, as usual, for your help.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're Mr. Tell me your last name again? Brisbaugh?
Breezeball.
Brisbaugh. Thank you, sir. This is 20 CF 4027. You were arrested for false imprisonment and battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You are not to possess any weapons or any firearms, sir.
Okay.
Did you have a chance to read that no contact order?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about the order?
No. I understand it.
All right, sir. Lost his face sheet. I misplaced his face sheet. Does he qualify? Let's see. Can I place him on pretrial release?
He looks like you can write it off.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Very, very much. Thank you. What do you
Your Honor, next on the list is Boyd Medical.
All right. And that's in 20 CF 4025 and 19 CF 7764. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent him in both cases. I'm going to waive his appearance in 20 CF 4025. He was arrested for battery. Oh, I misread this. All right, he was arrested for battery, burglary with an assault or battery, and false information to the police. There's probable cause for those offenses. He's not to have contact with the victim. He's to maintain a separate residence. He's not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Bond on count 1 is $500. Bond on count 2 is $15,000. Bond on count 3 is $100. And then in 19 CF 7764, he failed to appear, and bond is set at none. All right. Are you Ms. Wilson?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, good afternoon. You are here in case number 20 CF 4006. You were arrested for aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. There's probable cause, ma'am. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. And you're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Ma'am, do you live with the alleged victim?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Sheldon Arthur.
Mr. Arthur, this is 20 MM 2332. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you.
Okay.
You're Mr. Arthur?
Yeah, Mr. Arthur, that's correct.
Okay. You are not to have contact with the victim. You're to maintain a separate residence. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Does Mr. Arthur qualify for PTR?
He was never interviewed, Your Honor. We just have to talk to him.
All right. I'm going to set bond at pretrial release or $500 bond, sir. They're going to come talk to you and interview you to see if you qualify for pretrial release. All right?
So-
Did you have any questions about the no contact order, sir?
No, I don't have any questions, but the bond is set at just 500. That's all.
Yes, or pretrial. So the pretrial release is going to come talk to you
Right.
first to see if you qualify. If you do, then you would be released onto that program. If not, you'll have to post the bond.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, Woodshire, David, mental health.
All right. I'll reset Mr. Wilshire's case. Are you Mr. Goda?
Yes.
Mr. Goda, this is 20 CF 4022. You were arrested for aggravated battery on a pregnant person. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms, sir.
Okay.
Megan, can he be placed on pretrial?
Yeah, he was interviewed, right? Yes.
Okay. Mr. Goda, I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time. Did you read the no contact order, sir?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any questions about anything in the order?
No.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Anderson Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, this is 20 CF 3852. You were arrested for burglary of an occupied conveyance, aggravated battery, great bodily harm, dating violence, tampering with a witness to hinder communication to law enforcement, and criminal mischief. This was pursuant to a warrant, sir. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Ma'am, good afternoon. Tell me your name, please.
Russell.
All right. Ms. Russell, do you want to have contact with Mr. Johnson?
Yes, just no hostile contact.
Are you afraid of Mr. Johnson?
Yeah.
How long have you been in a relationship with Mr. Johnson?
2 years.
And you don't live together?
90% of the time.
You have your own place and he has his own place?
It's hard to say.
Well, explain it to me.
He do live with me, as I said, 90% of the time, and all the time he's with his mom.
Okay.
So my residence, basically his residence.
Okay. You don't have any children together, correct?
Yes.
Right, Mr. Johnson, I'm going to order that you're not to have any hostile contact. Do you understand what that means?
Can you explain that to me?
Yes, sir. It means that you are not to argue, you're not to fight, you're not to act aggressive or disrespectful in any way. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. I'm going to set bond on count 1 at $2,500. Bond on count 2 is $150. Bond on count 3 is $150. Bond on count 4 is $100, sir. I'm also going to order that you are not to possess any weapons or firearms, and you are to maintain a separate residence. You're not to live together. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Billy McCoy.
Mr. McCoy, you were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant in 20 CF 3885 for aggravated battery with a firearm and battery domestic violence. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Good afternoon, ma'am. Tell me your name, please. And ma'am, do you want to have contact with Mr. McCoy?
Yes.
Do you live together?
Yes.
Do you have children together?
Yes.
How many?
2.
And how old are they?
2 and 7 months.
And you've known Mr. McCoy for about 5 years?
Yes.
Did the police recover the firearm?
No. There was no fire.
All right. Based on the facts that I have at this time, sir, I'm going to order that you're not to have any contact with Miss Murky. You are to maintain a separate residence. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Bond on count 1 will be set at $2,500. Bond on count 2 will be set at $100. Sir, do you have any questions about the no contact order?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon. Your name?
Good afternoon. Crystal
What is it?
Colon.
Ms. Cologne, this is 20 MM 2339. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Ma'am, good afternoon. Your name?
Lorena Gudelo?
And ma'am, do you want to have contact with Ms. Cologne?
Absolutely, yes.
Are you afraid of her?
I'm not. This is the first time it's ever happened. And she was heavily under the influence. It's the first time I've seen her like this.
All right. And you live together?
We do, yes.
Are there any children in the home?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Cologne, I'm going to order you not to have any hostile contact with your girlfriend. Do you understand what that means?
No.
No? It means that you cannot act aggressive toward her, you cannot fight with her, you cannot argue with her. Do you understand?
Understand. I asked because of I read the papers and it said no contact in like the home or property. So and we
Right,
live
so
together. That's why I asked.
Sure. Well, and I'm not ordering that, so you don't have to sign the no contact order. It's no hostile contact.
Thank you so much.
Ma'am, you're not to possess or consume any alcohol or controlled substances without a valid prescription. I'm going to place you on random urinalysis for that, and you're also going to be on pretrial release. Pardon me?
What does that mean?
It means that you're going to be supervised in the community until your case has been resolved in court. They're going to come talk to you and they'll explain the whole program.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. I know, but I want it on there for when it comes back. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Your name?
Guilherme Gomez.
Mr. Gomez, this is 20 MM 2340. You were arrested for stalking. There is probable cause, sir. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you.
Do you mind
You're
telling
not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms, sir. I'm going to place
I
you
don't
on
have
pre-trial.
none.
Pardon me?
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I don't have any weapon.
Okay. Well, that's good because you can't possess any.
Okay.
I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time. Okay. Thank you. Mr. Gomes, you also have an immigration hold.
Okay.
Okay, so they'll come serve you with some papers regarding that as well.
Okay. I have
All right.
the student visa too.
I just have to inform you that you have the hold, sir. They'll come talk.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Mhm.
Ma'am, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Your name?
Robin O'Brien.
Miss O'Brien, this is 20MM149. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There's probable cause, ma'am. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Sir, good afternoon. Tell me your name. Mr. O'Brien, do you want to have contact with your wife? Are you afraid of her? Do you have any children that live in the home? Is it a minor?
19.
No, okay.
Your Honor, may I say something?
Just 1 minute, ma'am, yes. Mr. O'Brien, do you want her to come live at the home? Go ahead, Miss O'Brien.
I depend on my husband to get back and forth to the cancer center for my treatment, and this says that I can't have any contact with him or share the residence, and so I'm kind of concerned about that.
Okay, so at this time, I'm not going to order the no contact, so that does not apply to you.
Oh, thank you.
So it's going to be no hostile contact. Ma'am, that means that you cannot argue with him, you can't fight with him, you can't act aggressive toward him in any way.
I understand, Your Honor.
All right, you can't possess any weapons or any firearms, and I'll place you on pretrial release at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Abelina Serrano. Are you Mr. Serrano?
Yes.
Mr. Serrano, this is 20MM86. You were arrested for battery. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You are not to possess any weapons or any firearms, and I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Did you have any questions about the no contact order?
No, ma'am.
Did you read that before court this afternoon?
Yes.
All right. Your name, sir?
Hakeem Pierre.
How about Mr. Villamayor?
Hi.
Hi, sir. This is case number 20MM2333. You were arrested for battery, dating violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You are not to possess any weapons or any firearms, sir.
Yes.
Did you read the no contact order before you signed it? Do you have any questions about anything in the order?
No.
Do you live together?
Yes.
Okay, so you can go back to the house one time with the police to get your things.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. I don't have another paper. Oh. No? Oh, PTR.
Okay. PTR.
So I'm sorry, I did not say that part to you. I'm placing you on pretrial release.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes. Sorry about that, you guys. And then you're Mr. Pierre? Yes, ma'am. All right, sir. Thank you for your patience. This is 20 MM 2324. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There's probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Do you live at the residence, sir?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you can go back one time with the police to get your things. I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and then court will be in recess.
Yeah. No contact. Yeah. Yes. He got no contact. No contact. I thought you said, hey, you pulling out. Where shall I? None of health. Comes back tomorrow. All right. That's it.